What makes a good API, and can you give examples?
The most important aspect of a good API is the resiliency. The API should be able to handle unexpected situations. For example, if the API was expecting numeric data and it received text data instead, what should it do? Should it fail? No, it shouldn't. It should handle it. It should communicate back the problem to the user or to the developer in a way so that can help them to actually rectify the problem on their end. The other important factor, I think, is performance and scalability, because utilization can change from time to time, from season to season, and good API should be able to handle the worst case scenario in a very responsive way.
Can you give examples of a website using a good API?
I gave example of not very good use of API. I think Shopify and how they change their APIs and cause many clients to stop working. Google is changing their APIs as well. The Google Maps, for example. So things that were free before, now they'll be charging for them. They expect now every query to have credentials embedded in it, so much change. A good API reflects a good backend. So the question here would be, what a backend process is good for business? And I think it's really hard to say which one is best than others. There are plenty of good APIs and far more bad APIs out there. Making a decision can be a challenge, unfortunately. So whatever you do, when you use third-party APIs, there is always a factor you always need to keep in mind, that you need to keep it up to date, and sometimes they introduce changes that you don't need for your business, but you are still forced to change your API to comply. And if you were using your own internal API, you wouldn't be forced to do that.